Okay, so Cedric Phillips here had what I glanced around the best understanding of what is going on with the free wizards thing. If you've seen this on social media, I'm just gonna read through this for chat at home. To the best of Cedric's ability, here's what all this stuff means and why you could/should care. Let's see. Alta Fox is an assessment management firm that is a significant shareholder in Hasbro. They own about 2.5% of Hasbro's overall stock. Because they're a significant shareholder in the company, they have the ability to ask or demand for conversations of the nature of this free wizards thing. Alta Fox contends that under the current board, Hasbro's shares have considerably underperformed and have traded at a sizable discount despite the massive growth of Wizards of the Coast over the past 5 years. Wizards has grown a lot. Despite all of the Chicken Little, the sky is falling, Wizards is ruining the game and Magic is dying, Wizards of the Coast is more profitable than it has ever been, in part because of its digital spaces being successful. Alta Fox contends this underperformance is due to the board's poor capital allocation, investor disclosure, and communication. We as a community know Wizards isn't the best at communication, so it's not that far-fetched that Hasbro, its parent company, would be poor as well. Yep, accurate. Alta Fox contends that Hasbro's peers, Mattel being the most significant, show much more focus on shareholder returns, both in their communication and investors like Alta Fox and the underlying compensation structures, how much key people are being paid for the work. Basically, it means that Hasbro communicates with their shareholders poorly, and that Hasbro's key people are getting paid a ton in comparison to other key people in similar positioning companies, even though Hasbro's stock is performing worse. They also note that the current board members haven't purchased any shares of Hasbro in the past decade. That seems really, that seems like a huge red flag to me. Yeah, imagine, you're a part of this company and you're getting performance payment based on how your stock is doing, and you're not willing to invest in your own company. Yeah, and you have piles of money, that's a huge red flag. With continued growth, it means that your Hasbro investment also grows, making it more valuable if sus when it comes time to sell you profit. Instead, they're seeing the opposite take place. The board isn't buying, which means if you're in the position of these folks that own 2.5%, you have some concern. Yeah, it's like, Bill Gates not owning Microsoft stock or Jeff Bezos not being invested in Amazon, right? They have some ideas to generate value. They list their nominees to get added to the board, with John Finkel being one of them. For people that aren't familiar with Magic boomers, John Finkel's in the Magic Hall of Fame. He's a very notable established Magic player that's been in the community for a very long time, since its creation. They provide examples of Hasbro and WOTC doing a poor job managing Magic as an asset before asking players for their own thoughts and feedback. Okay, so there's this link. I think someone they have this presentation on this site, freethewizards.com. Risky click. Okay, so I would like to start giving my opinion with, you should always be weary of a large company telling you all of the things that you want to hear while simultaneously wishing to do things, right? It's very easy to read this page here, called The Players, and be like, yeah, I agree with all of that, right? Sure. They even put an article up here like this too. They even put a problem up here, a thing up here, crack it on alchemy, right? Which is a hot button issue in the community right now. There are, what's the best way to put it? They're not interested in fixing all of the problems. They're only interested in being more profitable. They're not saying we need to spin Wizards off because we can do this better for the players. They're saying we should spin Wizards off because Wizards is profitable on its own, and we want to maximize that profits more, right? Is basically what they want to do. It feels, someone earlier in chat commented that this feels a little bit like astroturfing, basically trying to make it so the community is on their side by saying, like, yeah, they want to invest in Wizards without the baggage of Hasbro is their core focus. So I just, you know, for the record, I'm almost assuredly someone who's jaded with capitalism over the course of the last few years or whatever. But it's important to know that this investment firm chat is not your friend. They're not. No big corporation is your friend. We are all piggy banks that they want to use to make themselves more profitable. And while there are definitely some things they could do that would benefit the players to make things more profitable, there's also plenty of stuff they could do that could hurt the players more that would result in being more profitable as well, right? So I think, as is the case, I would recommend taking anything you read with regards to that as a grain of salt. There could be some good, but as is often ends up being the case with late-stage capitalism, I'd wager there ends up being a significant amount of bad. So, yeah, it's something. Any thoughts or other things I should talk about that maybe we missed there? The grass is always greener on the other side. Yes, that. No, Finkel is involved with it. Finkel has been put up to be elected to the board of Hasbro to help vote for splitting Wizards off, along with several others. And Finkel's name was one that we called out specifically just because they're obviously a big part of the Magic community. But it's also important to know, chat, Finkel's a hedge fund manager, right? Like, I don't really know a lot about him as a human being. I know he's done some charity stuff, but he's also got some real dollar bills, right? Confident he's a hedge fund. He's a Wall Street guy. Yeah. Okay. I knew that was correct. Yeah. So I don't really know anything about him or his politics or other stuff like that. You don't get put up for board seats without bills. Sure. Yeah, I'm not really going to comment on him personally other than post the fact of what his job is, because that's where he made his dollary dues, but yeah. All right. I think that's it. All right, I'm gonna upload that as a clip to the YouTube.